Sherlock Holmes, a symphonic portrait, was commissioned by the Pacific Chamber Symphony Orchestra. Divided into 4 movements or symphonic portraits, the work explores the personalities of Sherlock Holmes, Irene Adler, Dr. John Watson, and Professor Moriarty. I also wrote a narration for a stage performer, Dr. John Watson, and from his perspective, he provides biographical insights into the rich personalities of Arthur Conan Doyle's enduring literary masterpiece. The music of Sherlock Holmes aims to capture Sherlock's eccentric nature, a bohemian in habit and style with no regard for contemporary standards of tidiness and good order, except in his methods. I chose to compose a romantic lullaby for Irene. The well-known adventurous followed a career in opera as a contralto, having sung professionally at La Scala in Milan and for a term as prima donna at the Imperial Opera of Warsaw. According to local papers, Irene had the face of the most beautiful of women and in the mind of the most resolute of men. She outwitted Holmes, and he admired her for it. The melody that permeates the entire movement was inspired by Dr. Watson's own diary, where he accounts to Sherlock Holmes, "She is always the woman." Holmes's best friend, assistant, flatmate, and first-person narrator was the chronicler of Holmes' extraordinary gifts. I focused the joyful spirit of this movement on Watson's first encounter with a famous detective when he met Holmes at a local hospital where he was conducting a scientific experiment. Can you imagine being witness to watching Holmes's amazing skills at deduction as they embarked on their first case together? The music also incorporates the archetypal, late Victorian Edwardian gentleman's strong sense of honor, discretion in character, and tenure with the British forces in India against the brilliant, emotionally detached analytical machine of Sherlock Holmes. Here the music landscape is continental, pedestrian, and filled with English national pride. The archenemy of Sherlock, Professor Moriarty, is a criminal mastermind who threatens Holmes not to meddle in his plans. Here the music captures the intellectual threat they exchange, the independence of Moriarty, a man of good birth and excellent education. The middle section of this movement was inspired by Holmes' own description of his archenemy to Watson. He is the organizer of half that is evil and nearly all that is undetected in this great city. The inner mental workings of Moriarty's cogitate and build before the main animated theme returns, capitulating us to the symphony's percussive conclusion, a terrifying moment at Reichenbach Falls, where Moriarty, the Napoleon of crime, met the greatest consulting detective whose skill sets bordered on the fantastic, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes' Symphonic Portrait is part of an ongoing series of symphonic works that I compose, whose inspiration comes from literary classics, whose appeal and sensationalism have crossed over into the incredible admiration and global success of both television and film. Perfect for chamber orchestra and those audiences who enjoy accessible music, Sherlock Holmes, A Symphonic Portrait is now available for rent. For those conductors who would enjoy renting it, please click here at ChristopherCaliendo.com. The game is afoot at Caliendo World Music.